I'm still in Europe, so I feel like, my greetings. I can say with an accent now. Brain Candy Podcast, here we are.
Episode 734. Hello, welcome back. I didn't do you justice on the last episode. I feel I let everybody down.
No.
I really do. I was focused on the hot dogs and
Suze, it was like a amuse bouche. Is that no? What is the an appetizer for like just a little? I guess I don't even know what the fuck is an amuse bouche. It just is fun.
It's a really small. It's like bite-sized appetizer.
Okay, is that like the palate cleanser? Is that?
No, it's like the appetizer that just fits on a spoon.
Oh yes.
It's like that's not enough.
No, it's not.
Me and Joey Chestnut want more than
that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So I'm sure you're talking about, like, I didn't do you justice in talking about my wonderful, fantastic trip.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about. What if that was it? What if
it
it was just like my
you
commentary?
Finish an episode and you think that was a good one or that was not my best. That was not my best. But it's
what?
Like we were
I
out of
laughed
practice.
so much. You interviewed frickin' Rainn Wilson.
That's true. What could be better than that? You're right.
I mean, Susie.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Come on. Harshest critic over here.
Well, I'm just saying this one better be good, Sarah.
Listen, I'm going to try to bring it, but I feel like this is just going to be like me going, okay, so this one time when I was in Croatia, like this happened.
Oh, is that what this is?
Well, I mean, some of things, because I'm on a trip and I'm, of course, thinking about like all the things I have to tell Susie. And then my ADHD brain, I can't even remember like what I did yesterday. So I have to make a little list of like things to talk to you about. So this is just kind of like the running list of the things that I wanted to talk to Susie about and things that I felt like have to, just share, like observations. Okay. And, this,
it's a Croatia Catchup.
Croatia Catchup. And, so but there's others. I have other stuff too. I have like
somebody needs to do PR for Croatia because no one would think it's like a hot spot. Who?
It is if you were a fan of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
that is what they shot.
You were like at the world's biggest Comic-Con, essentially.
Suze, it was like I was in Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
It looks exactly like that. Like,
oh, wow.
Exactly like that. And we did the walk along the wall that is at Dubrovnik, is this city that's right on the sea. And they have this old town that's just this fortress with this big wall around it. And it's all, still original there, of course, And we did the tour, like just a walking tour. It's like a mile almost, maybe a little more, that you walk like the top of the wall and you feel like you're a freaking extra in
really like you went back in time.
It was so cool.
Well, did the show film there? Oh, okay.
Many locations, yeah.
And did they make a big fuss about it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they did.
And then are the tourists like enthusiasts?
Yes. There's a lot of shirts you see, like Game of Thrones shirts. God. But that's only a portion of what it has to offer. Like what maybe you saw on my Instagram, and I will definitely put more pictures up of, was the beautiful nature. Like this place has water and waterfalls and just...
Yeah, that's what they're not tooting their horn about.
It's amazing. It's like the stuff right outside the city. I'm like, these, buildings
Do you think
are great.
They want to keep it on the down low?
It feels like that.
Yeah, it's a secret.
I would. Yeah, it felt like the beauty of like the Amalfi Coast without any of the tourism and just less striped umbrellas.
What about cuisine though? Is it like just bowls of porridge?
Seafood, all day. It's basically your Mediterranean or like Italian.
Right, that's your favorite.
Oh, it's my favorite. Pizza, all the pizzas you want. Gelato, not as much in that direction as you'd think.
That's disappointing.
Maybe a little more
south. Is it mostly salads? That is no good.
It's a lot of seafood platters, like a lot of so much pasta with seafood.
right. I like what
Risotto.
I'm
They're
hearing.
really famous for risotto with like seafood, and they can like the bread.
I was going to say, what about the bread?
It's
Best bread.
best. There is something different. It is kind of like, the bread that we get with wild grain. It's like that. It's like, it tastes
Right.
different. Like,
Yeah.
like American grocery store bread. Like, don't buy that shit. It's not good.
Well, speaking of wild grain, thank you for mentioning
Yes.
it.
Oh, I didn't even mean to do that segue, but here we are.
Well, you did me a real favor. Not that I need one, because I'm always happy to talk about wild grain. I cannot say enough about this company. Frozen bread, pasta, pastries, treats, croissants, whatever. Showing
Listen,
up at
I
your
am
door.
not giving up my daily croissant habit. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, right, because that's like the European
Yes.
thing, right?
Yes, I'm going right back to that. So keep it coming. Give me that ciabatta. Give me that pasta.
Gimme.
Gimme.
Baked from frozen, sourdough breads, fresh pasta, artisanal pastries, and these are delicious. My mom has a new favorite. It's like a raspberry lemon biscuit.
Oh,
And she
I know
was
of
like-
this. I know of this.
She was like, "Do you have any more?"
Yeah. I mean, because they taste just like you'd get them at like a fancy bakery.
They are a patisserie level deliciousness. And they do some sort of slow fermentation process, so they're easier on your
This
tummy.
is the stuff I'm talking about on like why like bread in Europe is different,
Right.
And like this
have a
bread is
trick.
different. There's something. I mean, it's different.
And now
doesn't
you can
do the
have it
trouble
too.
on the tummy. Yeah,
You don't even have to go to Croatia.
Correct.
Plus, for a limited time, you can get $30 off your first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy to start your subscription. You heard me, free croissants in every box, and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/braincandy. That's wildgrain.com/braincandy, or you can use promo code braincandy at checkout.
Yeah, we get back and Eli's like, I'm going to go back on keto. I'm like, yep, sure, no problem.
Good luck.
Good luck, bye. I ate gelato for an actual meal almost every day. All the bread you
An
could
actual
imagine.
meal.
And
Do they
I
have
walked so much
bottomings?
that I came back a lighter person than I left.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
yeah.
Right. That's
I
the
was
thing.
able to
I
just
always get
indulge,
afraid
and I was
I'm
just so
going to.
active.
I always think I'm going to gain weight on vacation because of the food, but you do move way more than if you're sitting
we
at
were
a desk.
tracking about 11 miles a day, even on the days
Wow.
that we were on the boats and hanging out.
Do they have bottomings, or is it just gelato straight up?
Oh, the good place we went to I always get it in a cone because I like gotta walk and eat, and
Oh, right.
the idea of using a spoon, like that's I'll trip on cobblestone. That's too much. So I need like to hold it and be able to lick it and look forward at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just always chasing the drips. That feels almost more like I'm just constantly cleaning rather than eating, and it's fun
Competitive
activity
eating.
for me.
It's training.
And so one of the great places, the really good gelato places we went, had chocolate on the bottom.
Oh, I
like
love that
all,
little bonus
drumstick.
treasure.
Yes.
All a
And we didn't even
drumstick.
know, and we were like, oh, yum.
Surprise party.
Yeah. And my
That's
favorite
fun.
combo of the trip, chocolate with orange sorbet.
Oh,
Like 2 scoops, 1 and 1.
okay. Loving it.
So good. I can taste
So
it now.
great.
People are going to be like, I don't care about this episode, and now I want ice cream.
All right, double whammy.
Whatever. Right. And like their table wine is like the best ever. Like they specialize in dry wine. They're in this like microclimate that is amazing and for producing really great dry white wine, which is
See,
exactly
they're not
what
too
we like.
everyone about that either.
Right. They're like, and we're getting like bottles for $11 that taste like they should be 4
Top
times
tier.
that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That makes all the difference.
It really does. And like, it's a place where you can, I will say the one thing I wish we did is I wish we went in with no reservations and no plans, like hotel plans, like maybe for the first few nights we were there. But there were so many beautiful places we found along the way that it kind of felt like we were tied to the hotels we had picked while we were in the United States. So, I don't know how you do this research before you go, but there are a lot of places where it's just, you got to just throw, I don't know, caution to the wind in a way. And if it's a place that operates like their biggest like industry is tourism, they're going to have hotels and you're going to find a spot. So just go there and decide on the way what, where you want to stay and what you want to do. Because
to be fair, that's what you and I did in Brazil. It still didn't work out.
We did it like freeform.
Yeah, kind of. Like
we did, huh?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, yeah, it's gonna work. Well, we didn't know that when we went to Brazil that there was going to be a gas leak.
We sure did
in one of the places, and then it was on a holiday, like a religious holiday, so they weren't able to come for like 3 days. And then they were like, "Just open a window," and we're like, "We might die."
Open a window. I love it.
Yeah. And then, so in kind of like similar, one of the Airbnbs we got, so nice, so cute. I love the place. Best host in the whole world. We're there for like 2 or 3 nights. On our first night, go to turn on the water, or second night maybe, water main broke in the building. No. So it's like,
what?
Okay, but then here, I have to say this whole story. So then she's so nice. Like the woman was so nice, and I didn't want to like take any money out of her pocket like for this experience. Like I reached out to Airbnb, and she was really nice. She like gave us water bottles, and she even was like, if you need to take a shower, you could come to my house. And I was
Lord.
Like, right. But I'm like,
I mean, I kind of would be tempted.
Like, I just don't want to do that.
See, that's the adventure. Right
yeah.
there.
See, there you go. You would have said yes to that. I was like, no. But she was so nice. So I sent what could be described as like the nicest email to Airbnb saying, hey, I am not like my host was wonderful, but I am not like, this is not like a big deal. Like we're very satisfied with our stay. It was so accommodating, blah, blah, blah. But minor issue, the water main did break. It was totally out of her control. She did everything she can to help us. Is this something that Airbnb covers, like insurance covers?
Yeah.
Question, like a question.
Yeah,
well,
just asking.
Well, then I didn't have service because we were like flying home.
This is bad.
And so they just took it upon themselves to like,
it's like death penalty for the
give
host
me
or something.
30% back, which was very nice of them to do. Well, they didn't tell me that they were going to take the money from her.
That is effed up.
It is effed up. And then I get mean messages from her that say, shame on you. And she doesn't even know the email that I sent to them that say like all the nice things, like she's wonderful, da-da-da. But she's like, I can't believe you would do that. Like what I tried to help you. And it's like, I'm like, no. I didn't mean to do that. I even asked a question. I didn't want them to do this. If they would have said,
did she believe you?
It's not covered. No, that it's still playing out.
Listen, once somebody says shame on me,
right. That's what Eli said. Eli was like, she didn't need to do that. And so I copy and pasted. I was like, this is the email I sent to them. Like I was not trying to do that. Like,
right.
And it's like really a matter of like $35. It's not, I'm like, here, just have it. I feel, but I have this feeling in like the pit of my stomach that somebody said shame on me. I'm like,
right. Yeah.
I can't deal with that.
Isn't it funny, like the power of words? Because I just had the opposite where somebody I know was thanking me for something and she said, blessings on your head. And I was like, became teary-eyed because it's just like a nice way of saying your thank you or whatever. Yeah. But like, it's the way it was said meant so much more. And in your case, shame on you means like, I wish you were dead.
I know. I'm like, shame. Like,
shame.
It's like, I am bad.
Right.
That's 2 therapy sessions I got to do now.
It is.
Like,
that's
I
where
just
you put that $35.
I just lost money on that interaction because now I got to pay out of pocket for 2 therapy sessions.
Right. Right. Wow.
Could have stayed in a much nicer hotel.
If she gets all the information and does not back down, then you just enjoy that $35.
Right. Like, I was like, I didn't want that to happen.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
It's the worst.
So That was my
Did you
one
mostly do
little
like Airbnbs
snafu.
or did you do hotels?
We did like half and half, but I wish we did Airbnbs the whole time, or
Get
like
out of
more
town.
like small hotels. We like really, it almost has like a bed and breakfast type feel. Like the last night I booked was a hotel that got a really great rating at this tiny town right outside the airport, and we were, Eli was even like, really this close to the airport? Like, is this gonna? It was the freaking cutest town. The woman was so nice. They had like a buffet breakfast in the morning, like Euro style. It was just like so cute and so
Like quaint.
charming. Yeah, and the greatest town. I wish we spent more time there. And my biggest regret was the hotel that I was like, we're gonna have like 2 nights at like a really nice luxury hotel experience. Like, it's going to be like, the pool. It's hard in Europe to find hotels that have beach access where they like have like lounges on the beach. It's usually not like that. And so we found one that was like that. I'm like, this is going to be great. The pictures looked amazing. It was like a cruise ship on land.
That is awful.
Awful. It was not mediocre, and the food at the little restaurants around town was so fantastic that the nights where we were in this hotel, it was like the all-inclusive luxury experience. We felt stuck and we're already, bought in, and we wish we could just be having dinner at the local place. Mm-hmm. And so I do not recommend that. I recommend just like the small,
go local, shop local.
That's the way to go. And there's so many hotels. So it was amazing and beautiful and relaxing. And
you didn't spot the challenge filming anywhere, did you?
No, but oh my God, was I on the lookout.
I bet. I kept thinking about it.
And there were so many places I saw where I'm like, this is
classic challenge.
Classic. I'm like, this place has challenge written all over it. I can't believe they waited this long to go here.
I did enjoy when you were rumored to be a mercenary.
Yeah, that was
really
funny.
good times. Great oldies.
I was doing the exact opposite of those things.
Right.
Like, I was topless sunbathing on like a little island.
Right. You weren't being tortured in any way.
In any way.
That's great. I'm so
and
glad.
The waters are just so beautiful and salty as hell, so you can just float without anything. Like, I love it. I was like depressed on the way home. I cried so much.
Did you on the flight?
Yes. I had a moment where I was just like, and it was like on the drive back. We had a 4-hour drive from where we were staying to like get back down to the airport and for our last night. And on the drive, as I'm just like thinking like how much I like how Europe does things. And how I like just better, and like how I feel, and there's a lot that we do better here. It's like give and take, of course.
But do you think anyone comes on vacation here and then cries going home?
No, there's no fucking way. Nobody's staying in Denver and is like boo-hoo Rocky Mountains. No, it is beautiful.
A ski vacation.
Okay, maybe.
Yes, and then they're going back to fucking Croatia. Not your Croatia,
right?
The one that they live in,
right?
Every day.
Correct, right? The different one. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's it. Like I do and I came back to like a amazing time of year here where we're gonna get to do all the hiking. It's like the flowers are blooming. It's beautiful. So I'm so happy to be home and you have that feeling where it was the perfect amount of time because we both were like, I can't wait to be in our bed.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah. That's a great feeling.
They did a lot. They do the double bed thing where it's 2 twin beds pushed together, which makes sense because how are you going to get a king mattress up these freaking 1,000,000-year-old staircases that are like carved into the stone? Like, no, it's not going to happen. But with that, they often do twin bed sheets for each bed as well, pushed together.
Well, one thing that they would love in Croatia or the United States is kitsch hair products because we all need good hair. Am I right or am I right?
Not only are you right, but Suze, you don't think I traveled to Airbnbs or to questionable pillowcase locations without bringing my kitsch pillowcase, did
That is
you?
so smart.
I took photographic evidence because I'm like, I need people to know that, like, I'm
The
for real.
commitment.
And let me tell you, nobody felt more like a bougie bitch in the best way ever than when I swapped out the pillowcases at
That is
already the luxury
genius.
hotel. I'm like, I don't sleep
I'm
on
sorry.
these. I sleep on these. And I was so happy.
Well, that makes sense, because what if you did all the work of like protecting your hair at home and then you go away and then
I'm
all
telling
hell
you, one
breaks
spot,
loose.
one of our spots was like, I'm like, what is this, sandpaper?
That's awful. Well, I'm
sleeping
glad
on
you
a
were
napkin.
troubleshooting. I can't believe you packed it. Good move. I love
know.
a troubleshooter.
I need a safe sleep situation. I need it feels safe.
You
It feels
really
good,
do.
You know.
Well, the scoop is that in addition to the lovely silky satin pillowcases, they have everything that you need for your hair to protect it and keep it beautiful. And they have the shampoo bars, which are also great for travel.
And don't you think those rollers would be amazing? So you don't have to pack, like, you don't have to worry about blowing out the, like,
Yeah,
plug.
heatless
'cause it's
rollers.
the different outlets. So you can't use, like, the rollers in
That's right.
the, like, hot one. So you need that. That's,
Yes, and they're super light, easy to pack. And they have a Barbie collab. Oh my God. Scrunchies.
I love
and
it.
pillowcases and all this cute stuff. I do love Barbie core. I know that like it's sweeping the nation, but you should
you were
check
on
it
it
out.
before.
I
so-
know. I really
Yes.
was, Sarah.
Yes, I remember.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to heat damage. These heatless satin curling rollers that Sarah mentioned are the original, the OG, still the best. Don't settle for knockoffs. Get the ones that started the craze. Right now, Kitsch is offering you 30% off your entire order at mykitsch.com/braincandy. That's right, 30% off anything and everything at mykitsch, spelled mykitsch.com/braincandy. One more time, mykitsch.com/braincandy for 30% off your order.
Yes. That was one of my moves that I had on my list to share. And luckily, here we are. Did that.
Genius.
Yeah, it made me feel real like a fancy lady. Yeah. Another thing I bought was one of those straw hats that has the hole in the top that's like round that you like
Yeah,
packable.
those are cute.
That you can wear. I'm like, I didn't even know those existed. So packable.
Is that the key with the hole in it that makes them easier to
Yeah,
pack?
you like roll it up
Oh.
and it's flat, and I wear a ponytail like a hat with this hair. I look cuckoo crazy. I like
So
carrot top
cute.
kind of with it coming out the sides. If I
Right,
wear
right,
like
right.
one of the, and then I end up with like hat hair. Nobody wants that.
You sound
So-
like a real good packer.
Suze, I got everything into just carry-on.
Wait,
2 weeks of packing.
I'm acting like this is news to me,
Right. You should
but
know
I
this.
know the legend of Sarah Rice's
I referenced
packing.
the photo that you took from our Brazil trip
Right.
when I was bragging to Eli about how great of a packer, how we had to check his bag. But I
Are
look at
you
how
telling
everything-
me that
Yeah.
all your stuff fit in 2 carry-ons?
Correct.
How is that possible?
Yeah. 2 carry-ons and you know the base, I think that's how you pronounce it, travel bag? Base.
Yeah.
Yeah. Base, travel bag, and roller. That's all I needed.
So how many shoes are we talking?
I brought 4 pairs.
Unbelievable.
Yep. 2 one
crazy.
athletic shoe, 2 sandals, and a wedge heel. And always bring wedges when you're traveling because you don't know what you're going to be walking on. Cobblestones.
The old
right.
cobblestones.
Yes. Yep.
Wow, gold medal to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's
It's funny,
incredible.
I had a whole thing on my list about shoes as well because some of the sandals I had were like 10 plus years old, and the bottom of them had worn out so bad that I was slipping as I was walking up like I couldn't get enough traction to walk up the
terrible.
cobblestone, so I had to buy
Like
new shoes.
skis.
Yes, it was like I was like those
great.
like physical comedy of like the black and white film era when they're like running in place with the feet. That's exactly what. And I kept going like Eli, watch, like the same joke every single street corner. And so I had to buy new shoes while I was out there. And your girl got her first pair of Birkenstocks. Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Eli's like, well, thank goodness at least this is a step up from Crocs. Because I was
It
like, the
actually
whole time
is.
I was like, I should have brought my Crocs. He was like, could we get Birkenstocks? And so I got some of those. Like magic, there was
Grandma's
a Birkenstock
first
store right there.
Birkenstocks.
I was like, I feel like I'm stepping into my true self. Like,
Well,
what took me so long?
Don't fight it.
What took me so long?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
love a
even know.
sensible shoe.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like the price tag, but now I'm like, what? This is so worth it.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Every penny and
Forms
then
to your
some. Like,
feet.
I mean, I'm the happiest ever. So I know that sounds silly, but like, I learned a
I've
lot
heard.
about footwear out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Euro look. This is also on my list. The Euro look, that like the style. This is what they're all wearing, and I don't know. Are
What?
they wearing this out here? Because I don't see this in the States as much. Everyone is in sundress, like whatever,
Yeah.
just dress. And like the more form fitting, the better. It doesn't matter what size you are. Like just like and no bra. Nobody's wearing a bra. We don't do
Right.
that anymore, I guess. And
I guess.
sneakers.
Oh,
I didn't see a
no.
single pair of heels. I didn't see a single pair of like
What?
nobody's wearing. Not
This is not great.
anyone, unless maybe like the ladies of the night. That's
That's the tell.
or U.S. tourists.
It sounds like a bad cult uniform.
It in the way, and there's all those like kind of very like high neck dresses that are in, so it kind of does
God.
have that look in a way. But you know,
Yeah.
either that or like tits out everywhere, which I love.
But what's with the
that's-
footwear?
I feel like it's practical. Like this may be a post-pandemic thing. This might be like how we've embraced like the onesies, like the sets and like the sweatpants in the States. They've really embraced a sneaker in a way that I've never seen before.
Are we
And
talking like athletic shoe
We're
or
talking-
more like Keds?
Nike Air Force Ones.
the
Yeah, that's the big one. I was like, I left and I'm like, I'm buying those. Like I'm good. Or like the very almost like novelty sneakers, kind of like Yeezys, but like more like very like big cushiony
Comically
sole.
orthopedic.
Yes, comically
Yeah.
orthopedic shoes. Yes, that would be a good description. In doesn't matter what color the dress is either. Like bright colors and funky like cool. I'm into it.
Are you embracing it? You're thinking
Oh,
this is
yeah.
the future.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, other thing I'm embracing that I discovered on this trip, which was necessary because, and maybe this will help you because I know how hot it is and you're in a no AC situation. A fan. Like, I don't mean like a fan, like an actual fan. I told Eli, I'm like, I'm bringing this to Denver. I'm everywhere we go outside, I'm bringing a fan.
That's a good idea. We should all be doing that.
What? Mark my words. If you see fans in Denver 6 months to a year from now, I am the reason for it. I told Eli, I was like, will you give me credit if you see fans everywhere that I started this? He's like, yes, I will. I will, because you did. I've never seen them. And I'm going to make that. It's sweeping the nation. Watch.
Okay, Sarah's trend watch, fans.
How narcissistic do I have to be to think I'm actually going to convince the entire city of Denver to start carrying a new accessory that doesn't really fit into any
You're like, it's
small,
not even that
trendy
hot
bag.
Well,
I'm
is it
going
one
to
of
make
those
it happen.
collapsibles?
Yes. And it's
Okay.
so fun. But I also learned that fans are left-handed discrimination items because they don't open up. And like as I wave it, it almost like closes on itself. So I need to find like a left-handed fan.
That is so weird. I would have never thought of that.
That's what Eli said. Yeah. And I
So
was like,
it
this is
closes
actually annoying
because then if you turn it
closes.
around, it's not pretty, or what? Why can't you
No,
just turn it?
It doesn't work that way. It's not.
It won't
It
fan.
only opens. It doesn't work the way you think it does. Where if you try to, you have to make it open the
Okay,
other
but
way.
let's
and
say
that
it
way if
opens, right? It's open, and you're supposed to do it this way. But then it's open. Why can't you just turn it around and do it?
You're doing a different hand gesture than I'm doing. You're doing the Chinese fan that opens like that.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the like the fan that opens like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody who's watching the video version, getting a treat right now. Don't worry, we'll turn this into a clip so you all know what we're talking about. Yeah, so that one, because it locks up, it doesn't open the whole way.
Do you prefer that kind?
Well, that's all they sold there.
They should get into the collapsible biz.
They should, but those
those that
yeah, but they're like paper.
We don't like that.
Well, not when you're jumping into the Adriatic to cool off.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding.
No, I get it. It's just
Then
the reference.
then you'd like grab it and it like falls
Adriatic.
apart. Yeah.
So that thing was going in the water with you?
it wasn't going in the water, but I really did. It was so hot, and there are so many of these little like bars that are right along, just built right into the like side of the wall, and the ocean like is right there. And there was one day where I was wearing like one of those little athletic workout dresses, and I was like,
Yeah, you love
I'm just
that.
gonna jump in.
Yeah.
And I gave Eli my stuff, and I just dove right off the side, right into the water in my dress.
I bet that felt great, though.
It was the best. And Eli was like, honestly, I was really jealous that you did that. And the next day he wore his bathing suit out, and I didn't. And then he did that, and I was so mad. I was like, a fool!
Yeah.
Why did I do that? Ah.
Wow.
So, yeah, you can just do that. And so if you're like jumping in the water and I'm like now it's soaking wet, I can't be like holding a paper fan.
No, you're right.
No, you know.
That's more decorative. Okay.
Yeah, this one was like practical, but not left-handed friendly.
Okay.
People are like, I've learned so much about fans.
They still don't want to know, though.
Right. They don't.
You know what they should learn about, though, is AG1.
Took that. Travels
He
well.
took it on the road.
Because they come with their travel packs, which are so fantastic. So we were getting the greens even when we were traveling. And
Right.
It feels so
And
good
that's
to
why you
maintain
still-
a routine.
You know how, like, sometimes when you come back from vacation, you feel so gross because you've just
Correct.
eaten and drank and done terrible things. But you packed something that could prevent that because it helps you feel like you're still doing your routine, still taking care of your body, even when you're on vacation. AG1 is like everything your body needs
It really is.
to
It's
feel like $1 million.
good start.
Whole body health. I love also the vitamin D. We put that in our tea every morning. If you're drinking AG1, you could do it like before your workout. You could do it after. But if some people aren't breakfast people.
I'm the do it first thing in the morning thing.
Yeah.
If my body
it off.
feels happier having that than me like giving what I feel like is essentially like those heart like jolt things. Like if I just have a cup of coffee, that
Right.
feels like I'm just doing that to it. No, it's not good. So this is like more of a healthy way to start the
And
day.
it's kind of like how I feel about flossing. It's a small, easy thing to do that like changes your whole day.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a simpler, effective investment for your health, try AG1 and get 5 free AG1 travel packs like Sarah used and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D like I used with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/braincandy. That's drinkag1.com/braincandy. Check it out.
Okay, what else do I need to talk about that? Maybe you caught my Instagram reel that I did about the old nightclub outing that we
Boy,
had.
did I. Did I ever.
Susie,
That was a
I
riot.
have never felt more out of touch or like tired. And people might be like, did you
Tired?
just get there? Was it the jet lag? Nope. We were a week in. We were like settled.
But that was late. It was 10:30.
10:30.
Sarah,
Susie.
listen.
I couldn't even put into that clip how silly it was. So we get there and
embarrassing.
there's already like people lining up. So we're like, oh, this
Okay.
must be like a thing. And the DJ, we were so excited because the DJ who was playing had just played in Red Rocks, and those tickets were like expensive.
Oh my God.
And we were getting in for $40. Like and having the greatest experience. Like this is gonna be so fun. It is the club we went to is on DJ Magazine's list of 100 best clubs in the world because it's in a castle. It's like
my
in this.
God.
It's all like you're like they basically turned like the Game of Thrones like dining hall into a nightclub. It's so cool. And so we were like, we are so cool. We're going to a club in Europe. And we get there at 10:30. And this is the best part because Eli was like, oh, 10:30. So like, do you think they're probably not gonna, he says they're probably not gonna have an opener because it starts at 10:30. So I bet the DJ is just gonna go right on. And we're like, we better get there right on time. We get there. This place is
Crickets.
a ghost town. The
Yeah.
employees are still tying their aprons and finishing their cigarettes. And we get there so early that we try to order a drink. And it says opens at 10. And now it's like 10:45. We get there. Still nobody else there. we couldn't even get a
God.
drink because they didn't have the keys to open. You know how the alcohol like has that lock on the top that they put that has kind of like that string thing that, you know, so that nobody grabs it and walks off with it. They don't even have the key to open that yet. No, they haven't even opened up the booze. We can't even order a drink. We're like sitting there twiddling our thumbs.
I don't get it though, because why?
They don't go out till like 1:30. That's
this
what
was
time.
in the middle of the week though, right? Or was it like a weekend?
This was Saturday.
Oh.
Was
But
that
still.
Still. It was
I
like
was gonna
Friday.
say,
Maybe
though-
Friday. It was Friday. But come on, potato. But
Did you stay for the DJ?
no, hell no. We stayed till I couldn't. I was like, I can't. I'm getting too tired, and I didn't really want to drink. Like I had like, I don't know. I had like a drink and
You just wanted a nice tea and to curl up with a good book in bed.
right. I did. I just I wanted to like maybe enjoy some fun music. I don't know, and like see people dance and have a good time and vibe with all the energy. But like when it's a ghost town, so we stayed there until probably about like 12:30 or 1 a.m. and the DJ still maybe even 1:30 and he still wasn't on. So we're
That's ridiculous.
so we got to go. And apparently it went to like 6:30 in the morning. So
why
I'm
do
out.
people like that? I don't get it.
know.
We could do
Other
this exact
things-
same thing like 3 hours earlier, and it's still dark.
I would love that. I'm all for that. I don't know what and I'm like, and then
What are they
everybody's out the
doing
next
until
day.
that time?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I took notes. Basically, just Instagram photo shoots.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Like it's Snapchat all night long. And they were not American tourists. It wasn't like we can just blame like this is US.
No.
This is international, Gen Z or younger or whatever.
Oh no.
Oh yes. And Eli and I were like, are they ever going to stop?
Okay.
And they did not
Well,
stop.
we
And
had
so
a
then
good run being cool.
Then I started like photobombing their photos because what else am I going to do?
I've seen this, Sarah, before.
I know. That was like 2 drinks and tired.
Right.
Please. I'm photobombing and bored. Like,
That is a real disappointment.
yeah, I was disappointed too. And then they do like, we probably did this. We have to kind of think about what each of our like versions of this was. But they bring weird things. Like one guy was wearing goggles. I'm like, why are we wearing goggles? And not just like the big, like steampunk style like that. I'm not talking
hate
that.
it.
I'm talking Michael Phelps Speedo goggles. I'm like, what
Right.
are we doing here?
Like,
And he's
remember
like
when-
posing for pictures. Is this like, and some people might say those like plastic pacifiers, but that was like vaguely related to like people doing club drugs.
Yeah.
So there was some explanation for it.
Right. This was
is
just somebody
weird.
thinking they were coming up with something real cool.
Yeah, what's up with that? Is this
I
like I'm
can't.
taking a briefcase to the club or something? It feels dumb.
A briefcase.
It's like that. I'm like,
Right.
oh, is this like a piano tie or something weird?
Remember
what are
like
we
back
doing?
in the 80s when I guess contacts weren't as big of a thing and like some athletes would have to wear those like basically those goggles
Yes.
because they wore glasses.
Yes.
That was a real bummer.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
I
like
think some
Kareem
of them still
Abdul-Jabbar?
do. Yeah.
Who is doing that?
I think there are a lot of them who still do this. There are a lot of basketball players. I see this.
Like get Lasix. What are you doing?
High risk.
I know, you're right. But I would rather risk it than wear those hideous spectacles.
I know that there's a player who I can see in my mind like
White or black?
one of them is and one of them in my head one of them is not. One of them has a big beard too, I think.
Okay,
It's like a
well,
lot
this
of
guy's
things
just
going.
like a hipster
And
athlete
I'm
then.
like, oh, maybe.
Okay, I won't judge. I'm
Yeah.
totally judging.
Yeah. So it's like this whole look of, and I'm like, what are we doing here? I don't know. So that's what the kids.
Here?
You
should have
Eli and I were
asked.
I wanted to, but then they looked so caught up in what they were doing. I didn't find the right moment to interrupt them.
Yeah, they were in deep.
Yeah.
I don't think they were sober. And by the way, I said it was LASIK. It's just LASIK, okay? I was caught up in the joke.
I would have never even noticed. Or
I don't want people writing me. This is one of my big changes lately. I don't even read my DMs. I'm doing the Sarah Rice. Because you know how I was like getting mad because everyone's sending me this bullshit, like memes and also complaints. I was like, that's it. I can't read anymore. I can't do it. It's too noisy.
I'm glad that you have
Thank you.
discovered this, that you don't have to, but then you do run the risk of missing out on dope, dank-ass memes.
Dank-ass memes. I'm willing to take that chance.
I will say, when you told me that I'm the only person whose memes you look at, you then created this layer of pressure that I have to like filter everything through. Fuck, does this good?
You're doing really well
enough?
though.
Okay,
that one, the Spanish one, that was the all-time best. The Esta Economia or whatever.
I don't even remember, but whatever it was.
In this economy.
Oh, yeah.
But it was in Spanish. Yeah, that one was
so funny. I knew you were going to like that. Oh, man.
No, I think you're doing fine.
That should be like our highest tier of Patreon is you get screenshots of the memes that Sarah sends to Susie.
Totally. I'm doing
because
that.
like I don't even send them to Eli. Like nobody gets I don't communicate with any humans. Like
I'll have to rate them. I could do like a scoring system.
Oh my God, that would be the best.
Well, you have to be willing to accept that some of them are going to be flops.
Listen, that's how we improve. That's correct. That's constructive criticism.
It's like an algorithm, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of algorithm, this is the most narcissistic all about me episode there ever was. I tried that stupid AI makes your LinkedIn profile pic thing.
I don't know this.
AI does not know what the fuck to do with curly hair.
Oh no!
And somehow I look like if you mixed Katie Doyle from the challenge and Marie from the challenge, and put Shirley Temple's wig on her. That's me. I mean, these pictures are bad with a capital B.
Oh no,
Suze,
you do have an interesting set of features, so it's probably...
What are we doing here?
Oh my God. She's real pretty though.
But like, doesn't that kind of look like Katie Doyle?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like,
wow, that's wild, Sarah.
It's wild. Like, what is that? I can't... The AI is bizarre.
I love your hair in that one though.
Yeah.
That
it's
looks
so
like the
unrealistic.
Noxzema girl. Do you remember the Noxzema girl?
What's happening?
She is a doll.
And like,
Sarah.
that's not my body type at all. So don't try those because they'll just fuck with your head. They're very weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do look like a Noxzema girl or something like that. Or like, AI is fucking weird, man. I don't know.
I've really enjoyed
I wasn't going to talk about any of that. I was just like looking through my screenshots
thoroughly.
and I'm like, this is funny. Yeah. I just happened to have downloaded that.
All right, well, hold the phone. I got to talk about something I love more than anything, and that is amazing shapewear. Now I am set for life because Honey Love rocking my world.
Suze, let me tell you where I recently was so grateful that I had my Honey Love shapewear. It is not like I don't necessarily need something to be like squeezing me in.
I know, yeah, I'm not like a shapewear person.
Right, but what I really need is something to go in between my thighs during the summer to prevent the
chafage.
Thigh chafe. There is nothing I could do to avoid this. It is going to happen. So when I was in South or North Carolina, I still can't remember which one, I made sure to bring with me my Honey Love shapewear that went right underneath my dress that I was wearing because I knew that it was going to be sweaty and I knew that it was going to be hot. Yep. And I was so glad I did because I forgot it when I went to Croatia and then...
Big mistake.
Oh my God. I was raw. I was like, so it was on my mind. I was like, I will never ever go without those in a situation where I'm wearing a dress and walking more than, 20 feet. So thank you, Honey Love, for saving the inside of my thighs. Because I was very embarrassed. I'm not kidding. Like, I was embarrassed, like, wearing a bathing. It was not a pretty sight. So I'm not going to do that again.
We have all been there.
It is protective garments.
This stuff,
for me.
it is amazing. The leggings are so comfy, cozy, really flattering, really just cute.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget that. They have some sort of magical compression technology. I don't understand it. Smooths your tummy, your hips, whatever.
Yeah, it's still comfortable.
Still comfortable. My sister, God bless her, she's watching Lincoln today, and he wants to play airsoft in the woods, like airsoft guns. Of
course.
And she had to borrow my Honey Love leggings to get out there and be the best she could be out there. And I was like, you are going to be so comfy. They have a 100% cotton gusset, so you can skip like extra undies. The shapewear has like the little panty area you can open, so like it's super convenient. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yes.
I mean, they've thought of everything.
You have to be totally naked in the bathroom stall.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Treat yourself to the best shapewear on the market. Save 20% off at honeylove.com/braincandy. Use our exclusive link to get that 20% off. honeylove.com/braincandy. honeylove.com/braincandy. There you go.
Other things that I have that are actually factual that you guys might want to hear. I saw a video about mosquitoes. We're taking another turn.
You saw a video about them.
I learned a lot about mosquitoes. Maybe because I was like getting attacked by them everywhere.
Well, maybe
we go.
you can answer my age-old question of like, what are they good for?
Oh, fuck,
I don't think anything. I mean, frogs eat them.
So, yeah, but like,
but they'll eat flies.
Else.
They're fine.
Right? There's other things. Eat that. It does feel like what is this for? Especially because they basically 100% rely on blood sucking.
That's disgusting.
That's fucking disgusting. I mean, that is the definition of a parasite, and like I do get that. Like like host, I get like, but
yeah, but like it'd be one thing if it were our sweat or something, but they're like digging inside, man.
Right, because they need the protein to lay their eggs.
Ugh, and if you're gonna take the blood, just do that and stop putting your disgusting juice in me that makes me itchy.
They're doing so much more than that. I have a full breakdown for you.
Tell me.
You're going to love this. Okay, because I found this so fascinating too. And so, first of all, mosquito facts. The mosquitoes that suck your blood are all female.
Yes, I did
Only
know
the
that.
females suck your blood, which, that tracks.
Classic.
Yeah. So, they need the protein that's in our blood to produce their eggs. And what happens when they land on us? First, when you feel the itch or when you actually feel them, they've already been there for an average of like 45 to like 60 seconds, which is insane.
Right.
So what happens first is they land on you, then they spit on you, and in their spit, in their saliva, is something that works as an anesthetic to numb your skin so you can't even feel them and you can't feel them bite.
Oh, my God.
Then we think of it as like one needle thing that's poking into our skin. That thing is six things, like six needles that come out.
Man.
Each of them have a different job. 2 of them are to just puncture the skin and like cut you open. Then 2 of them are like pump out this fluid that clears anything out of the way. So they give themselves like a clear path. Then one of them is to introduce a little bit of like a I don't know, chemical or something into your blood that prevents your blood from clotting. Right? I feel like we should be researching that.
Right.
That sounds like the shrimp eyeballs that like cure cancer. Like this, somebody needs to look into that.
Have the what is the word? Analgesic.
Yeah, analgesic, like anesthetic, like
that thing,
to their,
and this anticoagulant.
Yep, that's a great that's the word for it. And then and then the last one is this like feeler needle that can track and sense where the vein is. And then finds the vein, and
they're
then
incredible nurses.
Suck. Incredible. Yeah.
And they're the number one.
Yes. Hit the vein every time.
Right? Masterful.
100% success rate.
Because you ever been with one of these?
Can carry it all because they fill up their body to twice they double in their weight. So that, I mean, could you imagine drinking your own body weight worth of blood and holding that in your own body?
No. I mean, they are the number one deadliest animal.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are big trouble around the world.
Well, so then your answer is their job is to kill things, which is like fucked up. They're like the Grim Reapers.
Okay, and I did say there are too many people on Earth.
So mosquitoes are like,
but they take all the nice people.
Doing all your dirty work, Susie.
Well, and
remember when I said you gotta be careful what you wish for?
Yeah, right.
And like ask the universe, like.
Well, because we've said this about a lot of animals, like even snakes and stuff. We're like, why do we need those?
Right.
Because it feels like there should be a genocide, you know.
I saw in one of the national parks we went to, and it's fine. You would have been like, this is no big deal. I had to like put my foot in my mouth because as we were waiting in line, there was this frog that was like sitting on a little lily pad, and like people were like taking a picture of the frog, and I was like in a mood, and I was saying to Eli, I was like, people need to go camping more. Like this is just a frog. It's like no big deal. Like
right.
Frogs are everywhere. Like, do they know that we have frog? Like that's a regular frog. Like come on, these are like all over the place. Go outside. Then we're walking along like further down the path, and there's a garter snake or some kind of snake that's swimming in the water.
And you freaked the fuck out.
Freaked out!
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, look at this snake swimming in the water. We have to take a picture. And I'm like, and then 2 seconds in, I was like, I do recognize that this is very similar to what I may have previously pointed the finger at somebody else for doing. And I'd like to redact that previous statement.
Yeah.
And go with all nature is amazing. Keep taking your photos, boo. Yeah.
Okay, so, fair enough.
Yeah.
But like,
oh my God.
I do feel like if all the mosquitoes died somehow,
yeah,
plague style,
yeah,
that we'd all be fine.
Yeah.
I don't
think... Other
think...
things would probably kill us.
You think?
I don't know.
Like it would change the whole circle of life.
Absolutely.
Why they could have flies.
What do you mean?
For dinner.
Flies?
Like
No. I mean like the job that mosquitoes do.
Oh, I see.
Like somehow infecting, because like another part, the last part of that video that I watched on mosquitoes that I left out was they also that feeler little needle is the same one that injects any like disease into you, that they like they're carriers of, like they pass
big
it
time
along. So it feels like in that process like they have a job to
eradicate the human race.
Listen, I don't make mosquitoes.
Yeah, all right. So you're saying it's all part of the big balance.
Kinda.
I mean,
it's
we mess with the balance in a lot of other ways.
If we look what happens when we don't kill, like they're fucking like airdropping Arctic wolves into like national parks now, and like you think that's like a joke.
Airdropping?
It's not. I'm not kidding. They are for real. Could you imagine you're like a moose hanging out and there's an Arctic wolf getting airdropped?
Yeah. And then they put them on the ground and then release them.
Yeah.
You're saying in a box of some kind?
I don't fucking know. I'm imagining more like Operation Dumbo Drop here, which I feel like is not realistic. But for the cartoon in my head, that's what's happening.
Wow, we have a lot to learn.
Yeah,
because this is classic, like knowing like one millionth of the whole story.
Yeah, but like there's a problem with like the deer population in places. Weren't you talking about that?
Yeah, they are an invasive species.
Yeah, there's a lot
because they're natural predators. Us have stopped hunting.
Okay, see, so they needed something to hunt them. Maybe we need mosquitoes to like.
Oh, we're like an invasive species.
Yeah, I would call us.
That's so true.
It is true. I don't know who decides this. Geologists or something like that have determined that there is a new era that we're starting. You know how there's like the Jurassic and you know all that, those kind of. I can name no other periods except for Jurassic. Like that.
Triassic,
and it's
I know that
only
one.
because of the park. So thank you, Jeff Goldblum.
Right. And we're entering a new one, and it's what, bad? terrible?
It's going to be the era that it changes because of the influence that humans have had on the earth and the climate and everything. And it starts in like the 1950s, 1940s. And I can't remember the name of it now. It's like it's which is like human.
Yeah, Anthropocene.
Impact. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's not good. And like, I think our last era lasted for like 12,000 years or 21,000 years. I can't remember. I mixed the numbers up in my head, but one of those two things is right. So
but they're basically
saying
we're entering a new era. It's going to be even worse.
Well, like, it's the only time that an era has, we've transitioned into a new era without a natural disaster, something like a comet or an ice age.
Right. This is a man-made disaster.
This is a man-made disaster that has pushed us into.
All right. Well, we could blame the mosquitoes.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean? Instead of being
somebody,
like,
that's fine.
Yeah,
and don't you think like that's like everybody loves a common enemy? Like we all like
yeah,
and like that's what we can all get on board with. Like let's just be mad at these guys.
Before we were recording when I was ranting about Pete Buttigieg and how he's doing a terrible job at the Department of Transportation because the airlines are just anarchic, and not penalized for anything. I feel like this is a bipartisan issue.
Yeah,
everyone hates flying.
And things that fly and suck your blood.
So these things could unite us as a people.
We need more of that.
Okay.
Death to mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
And airline.
Right. Exactly. Wow. Well, I can't believe I could hate mosquitoes more than I did, but I do.
They're disgusting. Basically an episode where you learn about footwear that's appropriate and inappropriate in Croatia. And mosquitoes.
Before we go, I wouldn't mind talking about the serial killer.
What serial killer?
The one that they just caught on Long Island.
Who?
Rex Heuermann.
Tell me.
They were searching for him for decades.
What?
And they found him. Wow, you really were on vacation.
And this is like stuff that definitely should come through my inbox. Like,
he wasn't like, I think they called him the Gilgo murderer or something because they were all on this Gilgo beach.
Okay.
The bodies.
Yeah.
But he is an architect who works in Manhattan.
No.
And
I can't wait for the movie that's going to come out about this because architect, like, don't trust anybody who's an architect.
Right? And he's like,
the architects are going to be so mad. Eli's like basically an architect. He's an interior designer. It's like the same. So.
Well, it reminded me a lot of the BTK case because he has a daughter. He's married. He has a good job. He's like super particular and like real detail oriented and annoying and like high strung.
Yeah, like how high is your grass? Like,
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And, but I think the reason why a lot of people didn't know about him is because he was killing, prostitutes.
Yeah, of course. It's fucked up. It's so sad that certain victims and their killers get,
And one thing I thought was interesting was they ended up, suspecting him based on like a bunch of clues, like they narrowed it down, like where the person lives, where the person works, what kind of car they might have and stuff like that. And so then they tested a pizza for the DNA, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And
so that pizza thing got like all the attention, but there was like more than a decade ago, a sex worker who she would steal from her Johns.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, I don't mind.
No problem with that. Yeah.
And she would have all these guys like ambush the hotel room and like take the stuff from the guy. And then she ended up being one of the victims. And whenever they were trying to figure out who killed her, like it had come up that she was doing this.
yeah.
And so they interviewed the guys that were stealing from the Johns, and they described like this type of person, the height, and like, they had a lot of information that could have pointed to, but everything is 2020 in hindsight, of course, but like, it took a little bit too long, but I think it's because it was prostitutes.
Absolutely, it was.
It's weird though. Like, remember how I always say, like, I feel like serial killers are becoming like antiquated because of cameras and stuff. And I guess the exception is when you just kill people that society doesn't care about.
It's so fucked up.
But I don't even think he could do what he did even 15 years ago now. Because of
getting his DNA from pizza.
Right. And all the, family, what do they call it? Family tree stuff.
Yeah.
All those websites. But even though this is always or very frequently the case where the serial killer is just like quote unquote normal or ordinary, it never doesn't shock me that like
when they are
guy,
like that.
Like that they go to work every day and
because it anytime that's that cognitive dissonance. Like, we can't understand how somebody could do something where, like, I mean, think about that. You just like accidentally back your car into somebody's car and it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me write you a note. You think about it for forever. But
Sarah,
idea that somebody could do that and then just go about their normal life is...
Yeah, I guess because it's so extreme. But even like, it's annoying how the human brain, it's like our brains think that they're helping us like with shortcuts. Putting people in stereotypes is part of that.
Right.
Like it's a brain shortcut. And so that's what that is. Where like, okay, he's an architect. He's a dad. He's good.
Oh,
but like,
right.
We know even within ourselves that we're multitudes, that sometimes we're kind and sometimes we're assholes. And like, even though it's true of each one of us on a smaller scale, we still like ignore it.
Oh, 100%. We need that as human beings to even like survive. And everybody does that in the same way everybody rates themselves as better looking than they really are, or than the general population would. They rate themselves as smarter. Everybody thinks that they're smarter, better looking, funnier, and have better taste than they actually do, or than others will judge them to have or be or whatever. And that is what propels us to like not to like move forward and that's good. It's like protective. And
it's useful.
We are our own, but then at the same time we can be our own worst enemy. It's so critical. But it's more like our brain rationalizes any of our actions and behaviors. So it could come up with a feeling of like, even somebody who's a murderer will feel justified in like, oh, well, this, sex worker represented somebody who screwed me over in this one, whatever. That's like totally irrational. But to them, there is some like rationalization or justification of their actions of that.
One thing also that's just surprised me is almost never is it the case where these serial killers get caught and then deny it. They usually are like, you got me, or maybe not say anything, but usually they're pretty proud of what they did, like on some level. That's why they like toy with the police and do all that dumb stuff that gets them caught.
Did he do any of that?
Not that I know of. So that's unusual too. But like, he was in the courtroom crying and saying he didn't do it. That is very unusual. So
that is unusual.
I don't know. I need like somebody to analyze that for me, because like, don't be that guy.
I want to look into that now. Interesting.
But anyway, so that's fun to talk about, and not fun in any other way because it's awful. But I'm glad he was caught. And obviously, that's where Melissa Beck from Real World New Orleans lives. And she's like, she lives on Long Island.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I should text her and be like, let's hear it. Cause you know her, she's like probably read all the court documents.
She's in on the insider.
Wouldn't you be? Like, let's say someone in your...
yes.
Yeah.
Please. Are you kidding me? I followed the Denver, what is it? Like, building and infrastructure, like future planning, like development thing on the. So I
Who got
have
a
like the
permit?
map. Yes, I'm not kidding. So I'm like, oh, they're rezoning this area for.
God.
Let's look at what they're building in the future in these different areas. I become obsessed with it. It's very strange.
Maybe you're a serial killer.
This feels like when like old men become obsessed with the weather, they just like want to get like.
Yes,
I
need a
feel like
police
I'm
scanner.
doing that with like I'm like really into like the building plans of Denver. What's wrong with me?
That's
So,
great.
yeah, I can see that.
I love our evolution into like the Golden
Adulthood.
Girls.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
are really going well.
Yep.
Well, good work. That was a real treat. You didn't let me down at all.
I was worried. The mosquito stuff really saved the day there. So
I don't know. I love the Adriatic reference with the fan. That really got me. The meme, the possible meme rating system.
oh, this is
We
great.
made a lot
I
of
love
progress.
This. I know this is real. This is real good. This is
Operation Dumbo Drop got me too. All right, people. We're back, man.
We are. We're back. Better than ever.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.